This is Valley News Live at 6.
283 employees at Lutheran Social Services have been notified that they are out of jobs. The agency is shutting its doors, saying it's part of a controlled liquidation plan. Valley News Team's Courtney Lockey joins us live with the very latest. And Courtney, I understand you watched this afternoon as some of the people left LSS carrying boxes.
Yeah, Mike, it's certainly a sad day for a lot of folks here. This organization has been around for over a century, and they help so many people in need. And now, because of the pandemic, paired with a drain on resources, they can no longer survive. Now, this will impact all of the programs that the nonprofit offers. Some of those will end immediately, and others will phase out over the next few weeks slowly. Now, as you mentioned, nearly 300 staff members have been laid off. It's all a part of Lutheran Social Services liquidation plan, but they tell me that filing for bankruptcy and closing the doors permanently is something that is not off the table. Now, coming up tonight on Valley News Live at 10, I'll be breaking all of this down and explaining what's next. Live in Fargo, Courtney Lockey, Valley News Live.
All right, thanks so much for that live report, Courtney. We'll have the agency's full statement on our website and the VNL News app as well. Glad to see that the worst of the weather is behind us for the weekend. Now we can get back to above average temps again. Hutch is here with a quick glance at tonight's conditions. Hutch?
Thanks so much, Mike. As we take a look at around our tower cams and sky cams across the area, we do see some icy conditions on area roads. But the good news is the snowfall has exited the area and the wind is finally starting to calm down. The greatest road impacts to this system are felt in western Minnesota and southwestern Minnesota. The pink areas you see there, snow-covered roads, and the purple areas in southwesternmost North Dakota, not far from Sioux Falls. No travel advisories there, and parts of the valley have icy roads. So our first alert weather day does continue, but the conditions are drastically improving. How much snow? Well, a trace to an inch. Grand Forks and Fargo 1 to 3 in Lakes Country. The big winners down near the Sisseton Hills and out near the Twin Cities and Duluth, where we got reports of 2 to 7 inches of snow, and winds gusted once again today to close to 50 miles per hour from the Red River and points west. Right now, those gusts are starting to taper off, and the temperatures are going to stay cold enough for us to be concerned about some slippery roads into the morning. I'll have details about that weekend forecast in hour-by-hour style, Mike, here in a few moments.
All right, look forward to that. Thanks, Hutch. North Dakota's mask mandate comes to an end on Monday. It's been in place since mid-November when the state was seeing continued increases in the number of cases and deaths due to COVID-19. Valley News Team Stacy Van Dyke is here now to explain today's announcement. Stacy?
Mike, Governor Doug Burgum says the move is being made because the state's COVID count has fallen dramatically over the past 2 months, and hospitals that had been strained by limited staff and high patient counts are now experiencing relief. And making the announcement, the governor urged people to use vigilance to keep those numbers trending downward.
And strongly encourages North Dakotans, as we have throughout this entire pandemic, to exercise their individual responsibility and mask when physical distancing is not possible. In addition to the cities, counties, and school districts.
Now, while the statewide mandate ends on Monday for those in Fargo, the city's mandate will remain until at least February 18th. That move was made by city leaders earlier this week. Mike?
All right, thanks, Stacy. The governor also announced today that an executive order that limits capacity for bars, restaurants, and event venues in North Dakota will be modified to reflect the statewide's current risk level, which is moderate. Again, that change takes effect Monday morning. Fargo Cass Public Health has administered nearly 3,000 doses of COVID vaccine over the course of 10 clinics. Next week, 500 doses are allocated to finalizing vaccinations for priority groups in Phase 1A and to begin administering to priority groups in Phase 1B. The week of January 25th, they anticipate receiving 975 doses of Pfizer and 500 doses of Moderna vaccines. And in Grand Forks, more than 600 people aged 75 and up got the first dose this week as the city transitioned into Phase 1B vaccinations. 225 people of Tier 1A were also vaccinated. Anyone 75 and older who wanted to be vaccinated should call the COVID hotline at 701-780-6358 to be added to the community wait list. Those eligible to receive the vaccine can also join the wait list by visiting visiting mychart.alltrue.org. The North Dakota Department of Health says it launched a vaccine locator on its website. A Fargo woman is behind bars tonight, accused in the death of her toddler daughter. 37-year-old Brandy Adelke is in the Cass County Jail on a murder charge. Valley News Team's Callie Hubbard went to the apartment where this story unfolded and has reactions from neighbors. Callie?
That's right, Mike. I'm standing right across the street of where all this took place just about 2 months ago in November. Police were called to the 2300 block of 17th Street South for a report of an unresponsive child. Now, 15-month-old Mika's family is demanding for justice tonight as they say she was horribly abused and tortured by her temporary caretaker and possibly others. They say she had been burned with chemicals, given alcohol, battered, and raped in multiple ways. Horrific details to the details she didn't want to mention specifically, as they didn't want to scare people and suffering that this child had gone through, but it keeps replaying in those families' minds. They say that these thoughts will scar them and Mika's young cousins for the rest of their lives. Now, I spoke to neighbors in the area, and they were shocked to find out that they live next door to where this happened, adding that this isn't the first time that they've heard of something like this happening here.
I can't believe it. I didn't know it was so close to home. Across the street several years ago, a man went in, shot his father, called the police and told him I just shot my father. So that's 2 crimes in this little area.
And tonight, 37-year-old Brandy Adelke is in the Cass County Jail on 1 count of murder. Fargo police say that after weeks of investigating, they ruled the infant's death a homicide. Reporting live in South Fargo, Callie Hubbard, Valley News Live.
Thanks so much, Callie, for that report. A man is in jail tonight after attempting to run from police. It happened early this morning when a Fargo police officer tried to stop a white pickup. The driver took off, but the officer did not pursue. Not long after that, that same officer caught up with 35-year-old Nathan Wall, who ran and crashed through the interstate fence. He was arrested on multiple warrants and fleeing in a motor vehicle. An auto shop in New York Mills, Minnesota is asking for your help finding the person who stole parts from a car. Gibbs Number 10 Sales posted several photos to its Facebook page of a person and a truck that they describe as a maroon 2002 or a 2003 Ford F-150. The post says that the person in the photo has been stealing catalytic converters and asks anyone with information to call them at 218-385-3010. Later on Valley News Live at 6, uneasy times at the state capitals all around the country. What precautionary steps are being taken in St. Paul?
Gusty wind and icy roads, the story of the day across the valley, and the things are starting to improve as we glide into your weekend. I'll have hour-by-hour details on what you can expect in your forecast, which is next.